how are you? Good. Me too. Feeling a little hungover. My name's Kyle Scanlan. I'm from Chicago. Yeah, as many of you are. I'm new to Chicago though. I grew up in a small town in southern Illinois. It was called Prejudice, Illinois. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It was weird though, because I moved to Chicago. It was kind of like a culture shock for me. Like one of the first things I learned whenever I moved here was that if you go one street too many in Chicago, you can wind up in a bad neighborhood. Found that out right away. I found that out when I was just like walking with my girlfriend the first week I was there. And we were just walking, and all of a sudden we walked into a bad neighborhood. And I knew we walked into a bad neighborhood because I just saw this guy with like a sideways hat, a teardrop tattoo, and just a pit bull at his side. And I was like, oh my God. Just don't say anything. Just don't look at him. Stop doing that with your arms. It's weird. And like sure enough, he looked at me, and I was like, oh shit. Hey yo! That's a beautiful young lady you got there! God bless both of you! That is not what I expected you to say. My wallet back in my pants, I look like a real asshole. I learned something that day, and that's that a scary, stereotypically gangster Puerto Rican man treats my girlfriend better than I do. And that's a sad joke for her, because there's 8 months left on our lease. Yeah. My girlfriend and I have been together for 3 years. And if you've ever wondered how long it takes to fall out of love, it's 2.5 years. That ship is sinking quickly. It's not even that we fight. Like, it's not that we fight. Like, she's just a better person than me. That's it. Like, she's gorgeous. She has a full-time job. She has health insurance. Like, one day she's just going to wake up and be like, you know what? Maybe I don't have to put up with a guy that makes me go halvesies on a bag of weed I'm never going to smoke, and then throws up in my comforter when he drinks too much. You know what? I bet he was lying. I bet there are guys that make more than $12,000 a year. And she just prances off. Guys, one day that joke's going to write its own ending. My girlfriend's birthday is April 29th. And I found that out April 28th when I said, happy birthday! Like, there's no excuse for that. We're Facebook friends. I didn't know it was her birthday, though, so I didn't plan accordingly. My grandma was sick at the time. Don't worry, guys, she's still alive, so this joke has a happy ending. I didn't know, we thought my grandma was going to die, so I planned on my girlfriend's birthday to go tell my grandma goodbye at the hospital. Because I like to show the ladies a good time. That's trying to boost that morale on your birthday. And I hadn't seen like my mom or my aunt in a while, and they were there, and they were teasing me a little bit, because they hadn't seen like how much bigger my beard had gotten, and they were like, oh, you look like a grizzly bear. You look like a grizzly bear. And I was like, you guys are real funny. Let's go see what's going on with the lady who might be dying. So I'm talking to my grandma, and she's like, Kyle, will you hold my hand? And I'm like, yeah, I guess, yes. Is this a movie? What is this? What are we doing here? And so I'm like at her bed, like, and holding her hand in this hospital, and like, what could be the last sentence that my grandma ever says to me? She's just holding my hand and she goes, Kyle, I don't care how fat you get. I don't think you look like a grizzly bear. She was like, I better get your car when you die. You are real mean. My girlfriend wants to get a dog, though. She wants to get a dog, which is like a weird thing, because I'm just like allergic to dogs. Like any animals that just make my arms just break out in hives. And that's like it's tough because she wants to go like a humane shelter and like adopt one. I don't know if you guys have ever been to one of those places. That is the saddest place in the world, easily. It's just like Sarah McLachlan playing on loop. And just sad dogs just like, adopt me, adopt me. And you're like, oh my God, you're so pretty. I'm gonna adopt you. But I had to find a loophole of how to get out of this. And I think I finally found one. If you wear a Michael Vick jersey into a humane shelter, they will not sell you a dog. Is it a Falcons jersey? Yeah, we're all out of dogs. A large backyard and a lot of friends? Yeah, maybe you're more of a beta fish person. It's good. Fish jokes are. Jesus. It was a weird story, sort of. I got kicked out of a McDonald's for stealing a fountain soda. What happened was, I ordered 2 McDoubles and a water, the poor man's combo, and I sat down and I said, Kyle, your life is real shitty. You should treat yourself to a small Diet Coke. So I did, not knowing that there was a cop in the corner of this McDonald's who was apparently on fountain soda duty. I did not know that was a thing. Found out quickly that it was. And he just came up to my table all aggressive. He was like, you didn't pay for that! And like what I should have said was like, come on, man. It's Chicago. There's 3 million people here. There's gotta be a better crime that can be solved right now. What I said instead was, I'm really sorry, this is the first time I've ever done this! That just sounds like screeching to him. He doesn't like that. So he walked me to the door. He just walks me to the door. And he walks me to the door and he's like, and stay out! What? Like I'm gonna go back at this point? Everyone there knows I can't afford fountain soda. This is not a place I want to hang out at. I don't know if you guys know this though, but when you get kicked out of McDonald's, you have to take your food with you. So that's a handy little piece of information you can put in your pocket. So I'm just sitting outside, I'm just standing there, just eating the saddest bite of fake cheeseburger meat. And this homeless guy looks at me and he's like, rough day, huh? Yeah, you could say that. Like, you know it's been a bad day when a homeless guy is empathizing with you instead of asking you for money. It's not very smart at all. And it's not like something that just happened, like I've never been smart. But like some days, I'll be feeling pretty good about myself and be like, Kyle, you're not very dumb. In fact, you're pretty smart. And then I have to type the word unfortunately. Oh, God, are you serious? I can't even get close whenever I type it. Like usually whenever you misspell a word, like the computer, like you just like spell check it and the computer's like, dude, it's cool, you meant this. Not a big deal, happens to everybody. Not a big deal at all. Whenever I type unfortunately, the computer's just like, we have no idea what you're trying to say. Nothing. I just gotta delete it and I'm like, sadly, I can't spell unfortunately. But if I wrote it would just say, sadly, I can't spell sadly. I went to my first dentist appointment last week in my 20s. So I don't know why you guys are clapping. My 20s are almost over. Really close. I wasn't scared though, because I use Sonicare and I floss every day. Both of those things surprise the dentist a lot. I was feeling good though. I was feeling good about the appointment. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to show him I don't need to go to the dentist every 6 months and prove science wrong. I get there and everything goes great. The checkup goes well. And then he just throws me a little curveball at the end there. And he's like, all right, before you leave here, we're just going to do a quick check for cancer. And I was like, what? Did not know that there was a chance of me getting cancer at this appointment. Maybe that's why I've avoided this place. I found out very quickly that the dentist and I had very different ideas of what a quick check for cancer is. Like, my idea of what a quick check for cancer is him just opening my mouth and just going, "You're gonna live forever!" And I'm just, yes! And he's like, "Don't worry about the money, it's on the house! This is a great appointment, why don't people go here more?" No, that is not what happened. His idea of what a quick check for cancer is was just opening my mouth and making weird faces at me for 3.5 minutes while I just sweat a lot and think about how bad I'm gonna look bald. He's like, "God, I'm gonna need a lot of sunscreen." And, the other day, I was getting high and watching Intervention. And I was like, this is too relatable. Me and Jennifer have a lot of the same problems. It's the worst Jägermeister commercial I've ever seen. I went to go visit my parents over 4th of July, which was a huge mistake. Like, as a grown-up, I feel like that's just a bad idea for me. Because, like, my parents love long-distance Kyle so much more than they like staying at your house, Kyle. Like, so much more. Like, it's not even close. Because, like, long-distance Kyle, like, asks you how your day went. He says, "I love you" at the end of the conversation. Like, staying at your house, Kyle, is just going to get shithoused for 3 days and then smoke cigarettes in your garage when you're asleep. Like, nobody wants that guy. But my parents, like I said, they grew up in, like, a small town in southern Illinois, so everything's cheap. Like, everything's cheap. Like, I found this bar that had $3 Irish car bombs. Now, I don't know how many Irish car bombs is too many Irish car bombs, but I know that 9 will make you throw up in your parents' driveway. Dad's not going to be happy about that when he goes to work. Every time I'm there, though, I'm always like, "Oh, I'm a millionaire," but not really. Like, I just have $35. I'm so rich! Guys, let's do a lot of shots. So I just get real drunk all the time there for some reason. I don't know why. But then I thought that, you just did what you always do. That's the end of the story, right? Nope. That following Monday, my mom called me and started off the conversation in what could be the weirdest way that you could start a conversation. She goes, "Kyle, when you were home last weekend, did you flush a fork down the toilet?" I was like, "No, I don't think I flushed a fork down the toilet." But, like, what bothered me wasn't that she, like, accused me of, like, flushing a fork. What bothered me was that she acted like it wasn't a big deal. And she was like, "If you flushed a fork, you flushed a fork, Kyle. It's not a big deal. It happens to everybody." Like, I don't want my spontaneous alcoholic behavior to become predictable to my mother. Oh, that old drinking story? Snooze alert. And my mom to be like, "Oh, there's a car parked sideways in the yard with blood on the hood. Kyle must be home. Let's all go give him a hug, guys. He probably needs it." I was outside smoking before the show, and someone came up to me and said, like, one of the weirdest things I've ever heard. It's not, like, I just never heard it before. Said, "Does anybody got a lighter up in this bitch?" Up in this bitch. Like, I hope that doesn't become popular, because I would have no idea how to use that. Like, no idea. I would be like, "Oh, my grandma died up in this bitch. I'm gonna miss her so much up in this bitch. I don't know how to express myself emotionally up in this bitch." I don't know, I did comedy in Southern Illinois for 2 years because, I don't know, I didn't know that you could just move, I guess. I don't know why I did that. I had a car, I had bags, I could have just left. I don't know what I was doing. But they're like, they don't really have comedy shows there. They just have like acoustic open mics. So you can just go and just ruin everyone's evening. Just like, "I want to hear a Modest Mouse cover." It's like, too bad, I'm going to talk about my penis and disappointing my parents. Enjoy the next 10 minutes. Well, like, one time, like, the worst thing that ever happened there was, like, one time, as soon as I get on stage, just as soon as I get on stage, I just hear this guy from the back just screaming. He's like, "Make me laugh, clown! Make me laugh, clown!" And I was like, oh my God, is this real? And he's just still yelling. He's like, "Make me laugh, clown! Make me laugh, clown!" I was like, oh my God. I look over, the lady next to him is just flipping me off. I'm like, what? I was like, oh my God, I am never inviting my parents to another show ever. This is the most awkward car ride home. Even when I extend belief, it's kind of pathetic. I'm 26, which is like a weird age. Because like a lot of people are like doing shit at that age. Like they got it together, you know? Like I've read about it on the internet and stuff. Like Mark Zuckerberg, the creator of Facebook, when he was my age, his company was worth $25 billion. $25 billion. Yesterday I bought gas with change. I don't know if you've ever bought 3/4 of a gallon before. Kind of humiliating. Kind of sad. I just graduated college.
Yeah.
So if you're doing the math at home, not on time. Not even close. That was about me. It was like weird though, because like in college, you know they have those like no pay internships. Like I couldn't get hired for a no pay internship. A no pay. I couldn't do someone a favor. That's it. Jesus. I didn't know what to do though, so I just like what I did was I just made my part-time job my full-time job, and I was like still living in Southern Illinois, and so I was working at this Texas-themed restaurant there. I'll call it a Texas-themed restaurant. You guys can call it Lone Star Steakhouse because it's not on your resume. It was like one of those Texas-themed restaurants where there's like dead animals on the wall and everyone says y'all to you whenever you come in. Like there's a certain part in your day when you get stiffed on a bill for chicken tenders for $11.98 and Tim McGraw song comes on about living like you're dying and you're like, I fucked up my entire life. He's singing about Rocky Mountain climbing and I just sing a 34-year-old man happy birthday. Side note, if you're over the age of 12 and you ask another adult to sing you happy birthday, you're an asshole. That's it. Enjoy your cake. I hope it's your last piece. People would be horrible though at restaurants. They just treat you like trash. Like I had this guy, it was a Friday night, I was just sweeping this table. There's a guy just 25 feet away from me just eating by himself. 25 feet away. And I'm just sweeping. And I'm like, oh man, only 9 more hours and I can come back here and make $4.65 an hour. This should be fun. And then all of a sudden he yells at me and he goes, "Sir, you mind not sweeping while I'm eating?" And I thought he was joking because he was like 25 feet away from me. So I started like sweeping it towards him, like thinking we were going to be friends. No. He was like, "Sir, how would you like it if I came to your house and swept while you ate?" And I was like, that'd be awesome. My apartment's a shithole. Free on Tuesday? All right, guys, I'm Kyle Scanlan.